Let's talk to Montreal Mayor Valerie Plante, who's on the line right now, taking a little bit of heat these past couple of days. Mayor, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's pick a place to begin. We've been talking about this whole 311 fiasco. And look, to be fair, and we said this when callers ask, why isn't the city doing something about this? You don't really have much you can do, or do you, with respect to this new provincial law, the provisions that come into effect in Bill 96?
Well, you're right. I mean, it's a directive from the government of Quebec since the Bill 96 is now, up and running. But at the same time, I definitely want to tell all listeners that we will definitely adapt that message and other things as well, because, a lot of people are concerned, and we're too. We're concerned about maybe what it can create in terms of how people feel about, that specific message. We will have to keep it, but I also want to change it because right now I feel like it's a bit too much.
Have you heard, I know it's only been a day, have you heard anything from citizens about this so far?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, I've received message, and I was even before, I was in La Chine, and I heard a lot of comments. I was there physically earlier this week, and I'm getting message from Anglophone, people from different communities, Francophone as well. And I feel like Montrealers in general are worried about what it could create. Right? The last thing we want is that people feel like they're a second-class citizens, and it's always been important for the city of Montreal to have, that our exchanges with citizens, whoever they are, is simple and respectful. So though we have to follow the law, we definitely want to put it in let's say a Montreal style. We will adapt the different messages.
Okay. Can I ask what you might like to say to some of our listeners in Anglophones and Allophones who are just feeling like this? They shouldn't have to be made to feel like they're an exception to the rule.
Right. Well, because you're right. I mean, I do hear the discomfort from a lot of people, and it breaks my heart, of course, because I'm the mayor of all Montrealers, all of them. So the reality is that, though, before the law was passed, we did go to Quebec and mention how important it was that we would respect the historic rights and traditions, and how do we ensure quality of services for everyone? That's the core business of the city. So though it is, they have the right to do a law at the Quebec level, here in Montreal, we're so proud to be a cosmopolitan city. And, the city was built on many communities' work and involvement. So I want to tell Montrealers that I hear them, and we will adapt messages and things in a way that hopefully doesn't create discomfort, though we do have to follow the law.
No, and everyone appreciates that. I understand. Again, it's a provincial law. It's not a municipal law.
Right.
Let me move on from that to something else we talked about this week. That's the big announcement at the Hippodrome. But if I had a nickel for every time there's been a big announcement re the Hippodrome, I probably have a lot of money by now. So my question to you would be, and I know you have good people involved. We had Pierre Boivin on from Claridge. I mean, these are serious people with serious money. How confident are you something will happen at the Blue Bonnet site? And what's the time frame on this, if you had to sort of give us a rough idea?
Right. You're right that many announcements were made, but it's important for me to just say that those announcements were important in the work. And even M. Boivin was there to say, because of the consultation and the work that's been done before, now we can welcome this group of private investors, a different foundation, the city, the government, both the provincial and federal are now at the table, which is great and important. So for us, what we want to do is the committee itself it's about 8 months, 6 to 8 months, to come up with a strategy of how are we going to finance the infrastructure. Maybe listeners, the people that listen are wondering, why can't you just build something now? The fact is there's nothing underneath, no electricity, no water pipes, there's no transport, no sidewalks, no streets, nothing. So we want to do this carefully. It's going to be an eco-quartier in that area, and there's so much potential. So we will do as fast as we can, but I do feel right now, based on the work that has been done before, we're in a good position to come up with, to start to build as soon as we can.
Can I just ask you why you think, maybe this is unfair, why you think it has taken this long? And I know this goes back previous administrations all the way to Gérald Tremblay.
Right.
Why so long to get anything done here?
I mean, if you think at other places where we're able to build more rapidly, is because the infrastructure are already underneath. And it's very important for me to say this. And, usually you open a street and then you start to build. That's not the case with Hippodrome. It is so big and there's nothing. So this is one of the reasons. And when you think about the cost of doing all this underneath work and infrastructure, it's a lot of millions, like a lot. And the city itself, based on taxpayers' money, cannot afford it by ourselves. And I'm not going to put that only on the charge of citizens because, for example, if we want to put a tramway in the middle, which would make so much sense, I need to have the government of Quebec on board. I cannot tell Montreal, okay, we'll pay for it. No, it has to be a mixed strategy, a financing, but also a building strategy.
Okay, I will ask you one last thing on this, and then we'll move on. And that's the question of Cavendish Boulevard, which would be part of this if and when this comes to pass. I understand that environmental hearings for Cavendish have been delayed yet again. Do you know why?
Why? It's a good question. I have to check. I can definitely get back to you, but for sure, the money is reserved in the financial plan. So there's no bigger reason than maybe a delay with the OCPM, which has a lot of work. But I mean, I can get back to you with a more concrete answer. But it is still the plan. We're doing Cavendish for sure.
Okay,
all right.
That's good to hear. Okay, Mayor, let's talk about yet another touchy subject, which is the REM. If we're not talking about delays and mounting costs, we're talking about residents in Griffintown incredibly concerned about the loud noise. Where are we at with all this?
So the REM is took note and actually are willing, not willing, but they are doing some tests right now for the sounds because of course we want, we're happy to have this transportation link. It's so crucial, but at the same time, we want to keep the quality of life of citizens. So they're doing the final test, not only, for the running, like when will they be able to open the service, and it's imminent, but at the same time, they also need to reassure citizens about the noise, and that's something that I'm counting on for them to do.
Yeah, I had the sense last week when you spoke with this, you weren't happy with what's going on with the REM either.
Well, I mean, everybody's looking for that. And I think we all want to jump in. We want to take the train. We want this to work. Because it is a major, major project for Montreal and everything related to transport, as you know, because there are issues around transportation. I'm looking forward, I'm excited about having a way for people to, go from one place to another in a good transportation vehicle. So I guess this is where I'm also like, I'm hoping it's going to be as soon as they can, for sure.
Okay. Mayor, can I ask, as we're going through this list of things that are of concern to Montreal citizens, I'm wondering what keeps you up at night? What is bothering you the most right now?
Oh, well, many little things, but I would say for me, it's everything related to our downtown core. How do we keep it alive and dynamic, and also having to deal with more like social issues. For example, we know that 9 million people will come as tourists, and this is exciting, but I want to make sure that the city is clean, that the city, we can deal with the different construction sites, but also that we take care of the people in the city already. Like, we want the tourists, but we also want to take care of the most vulnerable, and it has to be done in a way that is, that makes sense. And I want security in our downtown core. So I would say, coming with this great summer, like festivals, and it's going to be fantastic. But I want to make sure I'm really preoccupied with how the experience of people visiting, but also the experience of people living in the city.
I have an idea. The Grand Prix is not for a couple of weeks. We're going to have a record crowd, it would seem, this year for the event. How about we remove all the cones just for the 2 or 3 days that these people are here? Like, there's no cones out there anywhere.
Where would they go,
So
Aaron?
no one can go home and say, I couldn't get anywhere. Just an idea.
It's a great idea, but it would probably take, we would have to close street to take the cone out.
Oh, that's
and
no
then
good.
You wouldn't like that.
Okay.
And a place to storage them. But we were doing a big effort, and really, like, the fact that we just passed a bylaw where it's going to be 24-hour max on a site, then it has to be gone. You cannot just leave them there, and we're going to charge the different promoters. I mean, we're really trying to push as much as we can all the people that are doing construction, because we're happy at the same time that there's a lot of buildings being built. It's good for the economy, but we need to keep it a close eye on everything happening in all the orange cones.
We need to make it so people aren't losing their minds trying to get to where they're going.
That too,
right?
yeah.
I mean, I have to say, I do find you take things in stride, but I'm sure you feel the mounting frustrations of citizens.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like all Montrealers, and I mean, it's the same thing. Sometimes I see a situation and I text different services saying, I see orange cones. I don't see anyone. What's going on? And then they send a squad. And I know a lot of people are doing the same thing. And I want citizens to keep on doing that. It's okay to keep track and just to be watching what's happening because we want a clean, exciting city. That's what we want, especially, after the difficult years we've had. And I want to support our businesses. I want a very lively city. So it's a team effort.
Mayor, we always appreciate when you give us any time at all. I know you're very busy. We very much appreciate it. Hope you have a great weekend, and hopefully we'll have a chance to speak soon.
Yes, and it's going to be the Tour de l'Île on Sunday.
Sunday, not Saturday. Sunday, the Tour de l'Île. Are you in it this year? Are you in the Tour de l'Île?
Not this year. I'm always there, but not this year.
Okay.
But a lot of people, I will be cheering Montrealers from somewhere else.
From far. Fair enough. Thank you so much. Appreciate the time.
Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.
Merci. You too. Bye-bye. All right. Montreal Mayor Valerie Plante. There you go. Didn't back away from anything, answering all the questions. And
that's what I mean. I feel like she does take it in stride and she gets it. And she's like, I'm trying to fix the problems. I do find on the whole, she's a little, she's got a bit of a sunshiny, like rose-colored glasses approach to things, if you will. But listen, she's trying to get the job done. It is not an easy job.
You do remember Denny Coderre, right?
Oh, God.
Okay.